country.
Well, let me get you in here, Congresswoman. You are probably the most compassionate person in the U.S. Congress. You actually have taken in 23 foster kids, is that right? If you saw these kids, and to the Congressman's point, if you saw these kids, they're hungry, they're scared, they're in trouble, wouldn't you take them into your home?
Well, we've taken 23 foster kids.
Right,
we had them in our home. Right. We raised them. We graduated them from high school. These children were legally in the United States of America. But I want to frame what we're talking about. Since April, we've had an invasion of 300 to 500,000 is the estimate, foreign nationals penetrating and coming across America's southern border. Yesterday, I spent the day over at the National Counterterrorism Center. I sit on the Intelligence Committee. Our own government is extremely concerned about who is coming across the southern border. We have foreign nationals that are coming across the southern border from countries like Yemen, Iran, Iraq. No, the estimate is 57,000.
You had an incredible stand for kids.
Again,
I just want to just answer my question really quickly.
But Van, it's important that your viewers understand what we're talking about.
Yes, children.
Since April, 300 to 500,000 foreign nationals at their election have invaded the United States through our southern border.
Children as invaders?
What I'm talking about are
you calling children?
Well, Van, you've left out the whole story. These aren't all children. There are 57,000 children, but the total number of people coming across the border are 300 to 500,000 foreign nationals that are penetrating the United, and in fact are in the United States today.
Okay, listen, we have all kinds of problems in the country, but there are 50,000 who are children, who are young people, who've come here. Are you calling them invaders? You're saying these children are invaders in your eye.
Foreign nationals that have come into the United States are between 300 to 500,000. My heart is broken for a female college student in Minnesota who was raped, murdered, and mutilated by a foreign national who came into our country. There is an illegal alien who came into our country, and we had a school bus full of kids in Minnesota. 4 children were killed on that school bus because an illegal alien driving a van went into that school bus.
Hold on a second.
Well, I'll tell you,
there are lines that can't be crossed.
If you want to talk about compassion,
I'm sorry, Congresswoman. There are lines that can't be crossed. Are you going to scapegoat these children?
My tears are crying for the family members
for the crime of this despicable person?
4 little children on a
we should
school bus
stand
in
with those
Minnesota,
children.
and a woman.
We should not scapegoat every one of these kids for that despicable crime. You know better as a congressperson than to lay at the feet of these children the acts of a despicable criminal.
Don't scapegoat the American people right now who are losing jobs. In fact, look at Chicago last weekend. There was a huge protest last Friday from African Americans on the south side of Chicago who said, President Obama, why don't you pay attention to the kids who can't get jobs here? We can't get jobs. We're homeless. We have fatherless youth who are subject to gangs.
Do you think it's fair for her to pit African Americans who are suffering against these children?
120 people have been shot in Chicago in the first 2 weeks of this month.
I would like to come to her defense because this is 2 beautiful ladies. One is a Republican, the other is a mother and a compassionate person. What you're trying to do is mix the two. She is never going to say anything against beautiful young children. She'll talk about all the invaders coming across the country. But there's one thing that it was recorded that you said, and I don't want to believe that either, is that we should not do anything for these children. And I said, oh, no, not my Michelle. She didn't say that. Another thing that staff gives me all this stuff that you said, God forbid if we should pass an immigration law, it would be the end of ever having a Republican president. I said, that doesn't sound like Michelle. Sounds like a candidate for president, but not my Michelle. But to get off her back on the children, she would not know how in her Christian body to say something against these children. But she's against immigration, period.
And you think it's fair